Okay, brought that down to a 1/2 inch thick. We're going to move forward and do the rest of these other pieces of cherry down to a 1/2 inch and move on from there. Let's double check our widths real quick. Yeah, we're good. I've actually marked out on this one. I want to make sure that I'm good. I am good. I've actually marked out my markings for this here. And here. Okay, those are the markings for our dowel pins right here. So that is that set. We're going to go through here, get the rest of these marked down. I'm bringing these in about 3/4 of an inch. So those are my master marks for this. Keeping my pieces up against the square to make sure they're in line. Bring my square over, hold those, make my mark. Okay, now we're going to move to getting the dowel pins drilled out. Okay, so that's going to have all those matched up and paired up. So we are going to get the dowels ready. Then we will put the dowels in and glue these things together and clamp them up and let them dry. Okay, so we'll do that to each one as we go through here. Going to get my glue in here. Probably need to get me a wet towel or rag. Okay, we have our wet paper towel to pick up any glue. Lines are on the same side. All of my coasters are straight. Okay, we are going to trim down the coasters, our cherry and walnut coasters. We're going to start trimming those down to 4.5 by 4.5. Changed my blade out from my 24 tooth rip to my 80 tooth crosscut so I can get a finer finish on these. Got to move that vacuum. So that's roughly going to leave me with a 1-inch piece of walnut. Yep. Okay. Okay, so we are going to run all the chamfers on these. I'm going to get these done and out of the way. Yeah, those look good stacked next to each other too, so that looks good. Good little mineral spirits. We'll get out here and give these a little rub down. Get them cleaned up. Okay, moving to a little bit of boiled linseed oil here. Okay, so I've got myself set up. These are going to be my legs for the coaster rack holder. I'm cutting them at a 45 degree. It's something quick and simple. I can get extravagant and do angles and all of that stuff later. I'm still going to do the splines, but this gets me where I need to go a little bit simpler. So, got a block, set this, that's on my line. I've got 4 of these to do. Okay, they're all going to be the same. Right there. This is my safety block to help hold this. This is my system that I have set up right now. I mean, I could get up in here, but then I'm actually going to have the tip of this in the blade. I can apply steady pressure into this corner, into this piece against that block, and feel a lot safer and keep my hands back. All right, gonna cut it slow so I don't cause this to kick out and take off and all that. I'm gonna do as slow as I can, so that's not an issue. Take it nice and slow. You should never have an issue with that. Using one of these other ones to push up against this. I've got this blocked at 5.5. We're going to do the same thing. I'm trying to do my very best to keep my fingers away from the blades per a request from one of my viewers. And I really appreciate the concern and safety. I really, really do, because nobody wants to see anybody have an accident in the shop. I get it. I don't want to see that for anybody else. As a matter of fact, I want to give a shout out to Glenn BNZ. Glenn BNZ. He is the man that, a subscriber of mine obviously, that reached out and said that he liked the kitchen apron hanger, but he wished that I would keep my fingers back from the blade and use a push stick. So I'm trying to be a lot more aware of that. And Glenn, I appreciate it. Thank you very much for your concern. It means a lot to me that other people out there care. So, I hope I'm doing better, Glenn. If not, leave a check and let me know. We're good. So, trying to get set up. There's some other tools I'm going to be making in the near future, geared towards the safety end of doing stuff like this. Sticks to hold stuff down. You can buy that big fancy $1 million stick or whatever and all that. I can make one just as easy with a little groove on the end of it or a little nip out to get down there and hold it. You know what? I'll get it figured out. Not a problem. Anyway, we're going to move forward on this. I've got this cut to 5.5 on the money. I'm going to rip it down the center. I got to get my table saw, set it up, and then I'm going to rip this down the center while using my push stick, Glenn. So, but anyway, we're going to get set up for this and move forward. Okay, good morning. We are back. We are going to continue on and get the rest of these coasters done. I'm going to untape these. They should have dried from yesterday. Going to sand these up a little bit. We're also going to, on these 5, since they both sides are good, this is kind of what they're looking like. So, liking the way these are coming out. We're actually going to put polyurethane on those. It's going to be a satin finish, so no bright shiny surfaces. It's going to have that nice dull satin look. Kind of what I'm going for everything. And sand these up, do the same, oil them down with some BLO, and then we're going to let those dry into the evening tonight. My wife will have coasters to put her drinks on tonight. I'll just have the stand ready late tonight or tomorrow. So if I get lucky and the temperatures cooperate with me today, maybe I'll have the stand ready tonight. So that's the game plan. We're going to get busy and get this done. Thanks for coming back in. Okay, moving forward. I've still got some of the BLO from yesterday. We're going to use this up as well. Get this in here. Okay, so what I'm doing here, I've got this set up. I've got my 5 coasters and I have some blanks that are the same thickness as the rest of these coasters to emulate this one over here drying. So that gives me my space. So I want to get the runners in here that these are going to sit on. I'm seeing 3 1/8. 3. that's good. But I'm going to tell you what, just to make sure they're exactly the same, I'm going to take both of them. Now you can't tell the difference. Sweet, moving on. Good, that's what I'm looking for right there. So that's perfect. Actually, they sit flush on all of them, right there. Nice. So we can set them either way, like so, like so. We can alternate them. Well, the storms have moved in for today. So, we're stopping the main operation of things, and I'm going to do some light duty stuff. I'm actually going to close the door here. I've had it open for a better part of the day, but I've got to close it. I'll have water all up inside this garage if I don't. So, we're going to move through. And I'm going to BLO this frame. I'm going to get that done and move forward. I'm not going to get the compressor running, the air hoses drug out and all of that right now because the power could go out, and if it does, I don't want to be stuck in a situation where I'm in the middle of something that I need to finish and can't. Not that the compressor wouldn't have enough air, it's just if the lights go out, I'm kind of stuck. All right, we're gonna move through and get this done real quick. I've already sanded it, wiped it down, cleaned it, and got all of that part taken care of. Trying to speed through this so we can get this thing done and finished. So I may be doing this kind of sloppily, but I'm trying to hurry, and I will smooth the oil out here in the end, making sure everything is covered. I'm going to do two coats for one reason, especially on the coasters themselves, because they're going to be getting hot coffee, glasses of tea, glasses that are glass or plastic condensating with the heat and humidity that we have here in North Texas. So that's why I'm going to put 2 coats of poly on those. I'm going to go ahead and put 2 on this just to say I did it. No real reason for this other than it would match the finish on that. So we're going to let this dry and then we'll be back. Okay, we are going to let that sit and dry. So this is finished with coat number 2. There we go. I think these are going to come out really, really well. I'm going to let these dry. We're going to come back here in a few hours and double check them to make sure they're good. Any final sanding that we may have to do, we'll just sand them. No more poly, just sand down any nibs or rough edges or whatnot, and then clean them up. All right, everybody, we have the coasters are finished. We have 6 of these in the set. They have the satin finish. They've got all the chamfers on them. Black walnut on the top, black cherry on the bottom. Like I said, we have 6 of these to the set. So these are nice. They're 4.5 by 4.5. They make a really nice large coaster for your large cups and drinks. They do really, really well. The whole purpose and intent of building these the way we did was so you could take a very large cup of coffee and set it on there without having it be a problem. Some of the other coasters that we've had in the past, while they're nice coasters and they're good, they're just not great in this application. You have to really get lucky and square it up on this, because if you're off just a little bit, it wants to ride and slide and everything else. So we figured to avoid that, we know a lot of people that have larger coffee cups, larger drinking cups, big half-gallon cups. These are the perfect coaster set for those. Or you can get these ordered. You can custom make them to your own size. We can make them as big or as small as you like. We can do them in all kinds of variations of wood types, light and dark, dark to dark. We can do walnut and cherry. Obviously, this is the set that I made for my wife for her birthday. But anyway, we have those. Those are going to be up on the website and the Etsy store for sale. So we thank everybody for watching the video. We hope that everybody's in a good place. We thank you very much for watching Fab and Build, where creativity meets reality. Everybody have a great one.